Hi everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Joey Fight from thephysicaleducator.com, and today I'm going to be showing you an awesome health and fitness game called Builders and Bulldozers. Build 1 of this game is work zones. So you're going to have your class get into a scattered formation within the playing area. The first thing you're going to want your class to do is to check their resting heart rate. Now this is a concept you should have covered before the game and also taught your class how to check prior to the game starting off. Once everyone knows what their resting heart rate is, have your class move around within the playing area, trying to avoid contact with one another. Have your class do this for a predetermined amount of time, and then recheck their heart rate and notice if any changes have taken place. Make sure you do this before moving on to Build 2. So in Build 2, we're going to introduce the role of the builders. So before getting started, the teacher will place a lot of cones lying down within the playing area. Once that's done, give your class a time challenge in which they have to try and set as many cones as possible upright. In Build 3, students will be introduced to the role of bulldozers. So just like before, give your class a time challenge, except this time they have to move around the playing area trying to knock over as many cones as possible. Now that your students understand both the roles of the builders and the bulldozers, it's time to move on to Build 4 and play the full version of the game. So in this build, you're going to divide your class into 2 equal teams. One team will start off as the builders, the other team will start off as the bulldozers. Also, make sure you start this round with as many cones knocked over as there are cones that are upright. Before starting the round, let your students know how long the round is going to last. This game is pretty intense, so it can last for a pretty short amount of time, 1 minute to 2 minutes, that's a perfect amount. On your signal, the teams will begin to play. The builders are trying to set upright any cone that is knocked over, whereas the bulldozers are trying to knock over any cones that are set upright. At the end of the round, if there are more cones that are upright, the builders win. If there are more cones that are knocked over, the bulldozers win. Now before moving on to the next round and having teams switch roles, have your students once again check their heart rate. What I like to do here between rounds is have all of my students go over to our whiteboard, where we have the different levels of intensity on a chart. I invite my students to use our Borg rating of perceived exertion poster to determine which level of intensity they're working at. Once they've figured it out, they place their assessment magnet on the whiteboard underneath the appropriate level of intensity and get back to play. So that's Builders and Bulldozers, a health and fitness game that we've broken down into 4 builds. If you'd like to get any additional information on this game or access any of the assessment tools I mentioned in this video, please be sure to check out the links in the description below. Once again, my name is Joey Fight from thephysicaleducator.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, and happy teaching.